Hey everyone, it's the Manga Viewer, and if you're following me on Twitter, you know that when the chapter came out, I immediately tweeted out, I told you the UA Traitor is revealed, and it was Hagakure. For those of you who doesn't know who Hagakure is, which by the way you should know, she's the invisible girl in My Hero Academia, probably like one of the most mysterious characters in there because we didn't see her backstory, and we know like so little about her that we can't like make up something of what she's doing and why did she become like that. But before I go on and explain what's going to happen in the next chapter, and believe me when I say it's what's going to happen, because I started to know exactly how Horikoshi-sensei likes to kind of like mess up with the chapters and make it surprising every time. So if you don't want to get spoiled, click off right now, because the chapter will come out tomorrow, you'll already know it. But if you are like impatient like me and you want to know right now, keep watching. Okay, so the first thing is that we are going to see Hagakure's backstory. And the reason for that is, she's like one of the most mysterious characters they were ever created. And Horikoshi-sensei stated in one of the old interviews that he likes to kind of like explain each and every character's backstory, and he won't end My Hero Academia until like he fully explained every character's backstory. Of course, not like every single character, but like the important characters that the story focuses on. And one of the people that we haven't still got their backstories is actually Hagakure. I was actually pretty surprised when it came to that, but from the beginning, if you have been watching my videos for a long time, you know I told you like one of the people that I suspect is the UA Traitor is Hagakure, just because of like how she's, you know, how she has been acting. Why does she disappear from time to time, and why like all of this is happening? So it made a lot of sense to me, and I was like pretty shocked, but in the same time I was like pretty correct about it. So her backstory, actually, there's a lot of people that commented on my, you know, breakdown video when I got the chapter, and one of the theories actually that one of you guys have actually written about is that Hagakure will have an ugly face and Minato will be disgusted by it. I think that would be actually a pretty funny theory if she likes, you know, reveals her face when Aizawa like uses his quirk on her and she's like ugly or something, and Minato will be like, no, it will be a really funny theory. But I feel like she does have a deep connection with All for One. Maybe she haven't been accepted. Maybe her parents like didn't acknowledge her or wanted a different girl, and since, you know, she's invisible, she can't blend in with the society, and then she like went on to All for One, or All for One actually went to her and, you know, explained all of that. And it was also tied to the thing is that how did she got into the UA school if she didn't have, you know, if she wasn't visible and all. So I think that was like, that's actually a pretty interesting thing, and I think it will actually tackle a new problem in like the real life society when it comes to like bullying or being different from the others and all of that. So I think it would be really interesting if Horikoshi-sensei actually does go with that, you know, with that way. The second theory that I'm thinking that Horikoshi-sensei will go with is actually Deku and the others teaming up and starting like to kind of like working out and, you know, using their quirks to the best they can, while Hagakure is like kind of like watching them and stuff. But I feel like the reason for why I'm thinking like Horikoshi will actually reveal Hagakure's backstory is just because every time he does actually introduces a new character, you go on like one chapter, two chapters, and then he introduces it. We have seen this like the same occasion happening with the Star Stripe, with like the Snipe Girl, basically like every new character. So I think it will be really interesting, and I think it like the chapter might start like this. Ever since I was little, I was bullied, or I wasn't recognized, or something like that. I think that would be pretty interesting. I'm actually like pretty much, you know, want to see the connection of her and All for One, and how did they like got together? How did All for One made her, you know, become his, you know, slave or like his worker? I think one of the reasons is that he will use kind of like the same way that he used on Shigaraki, or like Tomura Shigaraki, just because like he went on him when he was in like a weak spot. So I feel like he will do the same thing to Hagakure, or like when we get like her backstory. I think that'll be pretty interesting to see. And I think the chapter will actually focuses like on like much more of a training chapter type of thing. I feel like, you know, it's definitely either a Hagakure chapter where we will see her backstory and maybe like what is her motivations. Maybe she does like have some sort of parents issue, like All for One took her parents and was like, if you want them back, you gotta work for me. But what I'm really interesting to see is that will Class 1A actually forgive her for what she have done? Like, we know she kind of like spoiled basically everything to All For One, like everything is happening in the UA school, she basically tells All For One about it. So I'm kind of like curious, does Class 1A, like, will forgive her? Will they forgive Hagakure for what she have done? And another, like, interesting thing is that how will they manage to forgive her? Like, maybe they will be like, we will work on this together, we are a team no matter what. I'm actually, like, pretty interested to see if it will actually turns out similar to the Traitor, person in One Piece. He basically blended in with the other people like an actor because he liked it acting and liked, doing acting and stuff. So I feel like that would be pretty interesting to see as well for Hagakure, and I think that would be like actually pretty interesting since, she's an invisible girl, no one like can see her and stuff. So maybe she wanted to get recognized, and she felt like if I work for All For One, this will be like the perfect chance to actually go with that. So I feel like that would be pretty interesting, and I feel like this is a great chance to tackle a new problem in the society. And that's why, like, one of the reasons that I like My Hero Academia is that Hiroko Sensei like to tackle some problems in the real life society that actually is real and is happening right now. So I feel like that's very interesting. Anyway, those are all the theories that I have right now. Either the chapter will actually go on with the training chapter, or it will be focused on like Hagakure and her backstory and her motives and all of that. So let me know what you guys think, and if you have any other theories or questions that you want to ask, feel free to put them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to thumbs it up or join the channel, both does help. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been the Manga Viewer, and I'll see you all next time.